Good day. Today we're going to be discussing Avon and all things related with the value chain. Basically, a quick recap for the value chain for Avon. The company employs certain tactics to help it be successful in the competitive market in the world today, globally and domestically, like in America for the North American unit. So first we're going to start off with primary activities and do a little quick recap about it. Primary activities deal with operations, marketing and sales, and services. Secondary activity recap deals with procurement, human resource management, technological development, and infrastructure. Primary activities are usually the most essential for a company because this is where all the money comes from. And ultimately, this is what companies fully focus on. On the other hand, secondary activities such as human resource management and technological development are also pretty important for companies like Avon, but aren't necessarily up there for the priority list. Technological development, on the other hand, for Avon is a big and significant factor since the company has been dwindling with negative income for the past 3 years because they have been lacking in this department. Following this is product knowledge, is basically being able to reference a specific product for customers. This could be from wide-ranging cosmetics in Avon such as sprays, lotions, and the company being able to, with its representatives who are the number one essential driving force of the company, to show what they have able to provide. And following this is product selection. This basically entails having more than one type of product available. With product selection, companies are allowed to gain more revenue because customers could buy more things that go in their price range, taste, and so on and so forth. For instance, on Amazon, there's a huge product selection of various cosmetic products, technologies, and so on and so forth. So customers, like I said earlier, could choose more, and this leads to customer loyalty. Avon has issues in this department as well, and they have to focus on this, such as the product selection and the technological development in order to increase their revenue and grow further and get out of that negative net income. Following this, we're going to be discussing the primary activities, adding value to products and services for Avon. It is the company for women. Okay, basically customer service would be a major value. Their type of customer service is actually unique since it is direct selling. So customer service basically deals with all the things from answering issues such as warranty, returns, how a product is used and properly applied. So customer service is definitely a big key for companies, especially Avon, where people need to be in contact to get things checked out and properly done. Representatives for Avon are another major factor that add value to the company. Representatives are ultimately the bread and butter for Avon, and it has been this way since the company started. That's why it's unique and a direct selling company. Mary Kay has been slowly following their trend, but Avon has been the initial starting force and first mover in this field. Countries where makeup is newly introduced is another thing that could add value, another feature, because Avon has untapped areas where it could get more revenue, which is newly developed countries or countries in general that have makeup that's newly introduced. Acquiring products. This one is pretty interesting too because going online for primary things like shopping, e-commerce is definitely part of that shopping characteristic. Descriptions, checking things out, how everything's done. This is a big thing online. Also online, another big significant factor is contacting representatives that know the product. When you're speaking one-on-one, either face-to-face or online with a representative, that is a huge and significant factor that allows customers to have a big reach with the company. Unfortunately, Avon has put too much emphasis on representatives as compared to implementing technology, and also working on R&D, research and development, such as including websites that are more intuitive and easier to use and simple pretty much. Customers don't want to have a website that you can't even cycle through. On the mobile app, for instance, you can't go through it. So this is where a big problem lies with the company, where they don't put enough emphasis on implementing newer technology as compared to how they have been putting a lot of thought and process into the representatives. Okay, now we will go to number one primary activity with ultimately the greatest value to the customer. Plain and simple, like I said earlier, representatives. Direct sales companies ultimately need good representatives. This makes it a unique niche. As stated earlier, Avon has been the first mover pretty much in this niche, and it has been following it all the way through. Representatives basically have knowledge of products. They bring store products to customers' doors. They talk to customers and answer all their questions while marketing all of Avon's new products and existing products, as well as products that passed. So if people are interested, they could get the older products that were up there with Avon's selling. They're basically, like I said earlier, the bread and butter, but also the face of the company in this unique direct selling niche. Avon needs to restructure roles of representatives for better sales. If they do this, the profit will significantly increase for the company. The North American unit will do better, and the company will get up there as it should be, but unfortunately has been struggling for the past couple of years. The next slide will deal with secondary activities, which are essential to Avon's products and services. As you can see, technology is definitely up there. Oh, technology. Okay. It entails online websites, mobile apps, such as from your smartphones, tablets, online store shopping experience, as well as e-commerce adding on to that. Basically, Avon needs more technology, which is going to have to be enhanced. The better shopping experience is going to be out there with that enhancement of technology. And it's going to be easier for customers as well as employees. And that's going to lead to loyalty, customer loyalty. That's a big thing that's essential for companies in order to survive. Mary Kay, as stated earlier, is a big competitor. Avon has to maintain a high profit margin by stepping up in this field. It has been slacking the past couple of years with that negative income, so technology definitely, with the implementation of technology, as stated earlier, will help the company. If they have easier access to online website, commerce sites, with their acquisition of Oracle as well as Hewlett-Packard, they have a lot of resources available. And with that, they could have a better outreach to customers and also target audiences which they haven't been targeting, such as younger generations. After the older generations of females from 30 and up pass, they're going to have to start acquiring new generations. Net loss for 3 years. That's got to be changed. It needs a revamp. Ultimately, demographics of apps. There's also younger audiences versus older audiences. As the older audiences are getting older, younger audiences need to be interested somehow, and that is done through the reintroduction of Avon to these audiences. Okay, we're going to describe the Porter generic strategy that Avon follows. So the narrow differentiator basically offers a wide range of products to a specific demographic. This demographic is women who are interested in purchasing makeup. This is usually over the age of 30, and Avon has to change this as the women age. They have to get a newer audience, so that's where they have to also work for. In the book's definition, basically, it's dealing with most effective differentiation bases, and those are that hard or expensive for rivals to duplicate. So it's as if a competitive advantage pretty much, but the company has to entail new ways of making it hard for rivals like Mary Kay, which has been up and coming, to duplicate those situations. Avon's case, Mary Kay followed suit with a direct selling method similar to Avon's door-to-door. So Avon once again has to change its ways. Maybe instead of being entirely direct selling, they move forward to being more of an e-commerce site, such as Amazon, which is doing really successful in the market today.